All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I do want to invite our local tribal chairwoman of the Esalen Nation, Louise Miranda Ramirez, to come on up and help us get this started. Louise is part of the Esalen Nation. The Esalen Nation here is the native tribe of this area, Monterey Bay Peninsula, Salinas Valley, and she travels from San Jose several times a week to be here to get some stuff, to get some work done. So she's an inspiration for me, and I know she sets a good example for the rest of us.
Nishma, kiel kitu kanam shamasana tahawibizi. Atsia pamia michak pasamuatas. Efehe hetan only comes to know an Esalen Nation. Efehe hetan, the greater Monterey Bay Area. We are the indigenous people of Monterey County. We have been here for more than 12,000 years with our people. We know that you live here, and we know that those of us who have not been here cannot afford to come back here. So we know that it's important with housing, and we stand with you. What we want to start is ask you to start to stand, and we'll say a prayer and get it right back. Las odnoyam, las met, las iapa, las el sway, let salewa iu, let kialpa ahik no met stahawi, la kat haupa lechi, tohesa lechi neku, ekipasa, la kat ha ahasa. Sasipi kominan hatan lechi, hulin le, well laka, taiteka sa, sawu kominan hatan le, pana, laka tohesta lechi, neku lohma, pami machi, la taiteka sa, tohesta las pas pami kominan le, efeher. Creator, grandfather and grandmothers, ancestors, we good way come. We ask that you protect and guide us and give us the strength and knowledge so that all of us reclaim our language and culture. Watch all of our children and give them the desire to know their culture and give peace to all our people. The language you heard is coming back. We say it was sleeping for a couple of 100 years, and we are now bringing it back and teaching our children as well. So, remember that Spanish is not your indigenous language. So when you want to say, do you speak it? When I say, do you speak your indigenous language? Don't answer me with Spanish. It's not. That's the language of the conquerors. Take the time. Learn your language. Learn who you are. Know who you are, because it's in you. It always lives in us. It does not leave us. We carry the love of our ancestors, the history of our ancestors, and it lives within us and makes us be who we are. So, I'll shut up because I can go on. So, here we go back.
Únete. Thank you, Luis. All right, everybody. So this afternoon we want to get this started with a little bit of a theater piece. In this theater piece, you may recognize some people in here. You may recognize situations, a story that right now is all too common. All right, so actors, are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Aren't you ready?
Yeah.
Aren't you ready?
Yeah.
Actors ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Housing in Salinas. Un aplauso. Once upon a time, there were two hard-working families struggling to pay the rent in their homes.
Ay, me duele la rodilla, mi espalda. ¿Qué tienes, comadre? Comadre, es que no puedo pagar la renta. ¿Qué pasó? Pues con el babysitter y pagando la renta no me rinde. Mira,
Mi hermana se va a ir en 3 días. ¿Cómo ves si nos juntamos y salimos así?
¿Cuántas recámaras tienes?
Pues solamente una, pero te invito a que vengas.
Yo me quedo en la sala, pero tengo mis 2 muchachas.
Ah, pues ¿qué tiene tu vente? Nos hacemos sardinas.
¿Sí? Pues sí.
So the two families decided to work together and move in.
So, mi hijo, escuchan. Mi comadre Carmelita.
Y estos son mis niños.
Aquí es la casa que vamos a compartir. Nomás quería compartir con ella. Aquí está la cocina, la salita y sí, mira, aquí está para la niña y los muchachos pueden estudiar aquí en la cocina y tú y yo, mijo, nos quedamos en la recámara y ellas se quedan en la salita.
So they decided to make it a go. And then, one day, the landlord arrives.
Hello.
¿Quién viene? ¿Quién es? Es el dueño. Escóndanse.
Hola, buenos días.
Hola, buenos días.
Sí, estoy aquí para colectar la renta.
Ah, sí,
Sí.
un momentito.
No,
sí,
está
deja-
bien,
deja-
está bien.
Ok, aquí está, mira,
Sí, sí.
completito.
No,
todo.
qué bueno, pero yo miré que hay más personas viviendo aquí y eso quiebra el contrato. Eso no sale bien a nosotros. Así que tengo que subir la renta. Y va a ser 300 más. Voy a venir en 5 días. ¿Sabes qué?
¿No me podría dar un poquito
No,
más
ya no
tiempo?
puedo dar más tiempo. Ya está hecho. Nomás te voy a dar 5 días y esto. ¿Ok? Gracias.
Dice que nos va a subir la renta y pues yo con lo que estábamos compartiendo, pues yo ya no tengo más para dar. Y aparte me dice que va a venir en 3 o 5 días.
3 días.
Sí. No, mijo, tú estás en la escuela. Yo no.
eso
Tú vas a ir al colegio. Yo no quiero que pares tus estudios. Ay, yo no quisiera que te salieras de la escuela. No,
Pero el muchacho también puede trabajar.
bueno, pues, ¿seguros? Ni modo, así la vamos a hacer. Gracias.
So the family does their best to try to make it on their own. The boy decides not to go to college. He's going to stick around and work, try to help out with the rent. The daughter as well. A few days later, the landlord comes back.
Ay, pues ya regresó.
Hola. Así que ya te di 5 días. Estoy aquí para colectar la renta otra vez.
Ay, pues
¿Está bien?
Fíjese que no alcancé a acabalar el dinero. ¿No me podría dar poquita una extensión?
No. Eso no está bien. Y sabes que a este punto ya te tengo que quitarte de este lugar.
Ay, pues.
Así que te voy a quitar. Disculpa, pero es todo lo que puedo hacer.
Is that legal?
Shh, cállate.
Sí, yo tengo un apartamento. ¿Sabes qué? Te lo 4,000 cada vez, ¿está bien?
So the family now is evicted. The rent for the apartment goes up. He's already looking for a new client. And now this family is looking for a place to stay. They go to the county to see if there is any possibility for Section 8.
Next. ¿En qué la atiendo, doña?
Sí, señorita, mire, estoy buscando a ver si hay me podría poner en una lista para una casa, un apartamento.
¿Ya tiene un lugar ahorita, señora?
No, fíjese que no.
Es que ya se acabó la lista, señora, ya no hay campo.
Pero las casas que hacen allá, ¿no tienen lista?
Ay, les imploro que por favor investiguen bien lo que van a hacer en esas casas. Esas casas no son para nosotras. Realmente no son para la mayoría de la gente que vive aquí en Salinas. ¿Alguna otra pregunta?
¿No hay otros lugares aquí en Salinas? Nada.
Nada. Nada. ¿Les asisto en alguna otra cosa, señora?
Pues a lo menos no hay un lugar seguro donde tal vez nos podríamos estacionar. ¿Verdad que?
Tampoco. Ven. ¿Ves lo que tiene la niña chiquita? Quizás nos están diciendo que hay unos recursos fuera de la ciudad, en King City o Greenfield, por ahí.
Ay, pero mi trabajo está aquí, no sé cómo le doy. ¿No van a la escuela aquí?
I'm sorry, no hay asistencias ahorita. Next!
So the family doesn't have any place to go. Now they're on their own at the parking lot at Walmart.
Bueno, pues aquí quedamos aquí en la noche y ya mañana a ver qué hacemos.
Knock, knock, knock.
¿Quién es?
Hey.
Ay, parece que es el security guard. Baja la ventana.
Can't park this parking lot overnight.
¿Qué
Need to keep
dice?
it moving.
Ay, pero no tengo para dónde más ir. No nos podría dejar
Own overnight parking.
Dice que no nos podemos quedar
20 minutes. You got 20
tenemos que-
minutes for the tow truck arrives.
Y que nos va a mandar la grúa. Bueno, yo no puedo manejar. Digo, tú maneja. No es justo. Vivo aquí, mi familia está aquí, mi comunidad está aquí, crecimos aquí y sin embargo no hay nada para nosotros. No sé qué vamos a hacer. No hay vivienda para nosotros. ¿Qué hago?
Fin. All right. I want to ask all our actors to come on up. Just come on up real quick, and this is a chance for us as an audience to see what we reflect on what we just saw. Okay. Who is this guy right here?
Landlord.
Landlord. What did he want?
Money.
Money.
More
right?
money.
Okay. Who's this person right here?
The son.
All
Student.
right. What does he want?
Education.
Education.
Home.
Daughter, right? To help his family. To his education. Help his family.
Not go to college.
Go to college. What's that?
Not go to college.
Not go to college, but you got to help the family, right? This person right here.
Daughter.
Okay. What does the daughter want?
To raise the family.
Help raise the family. Help out with the family. She said she was going to work as well.
A roof over her head.
Sorry.
A roof over her head.
A roof over her head.
A safe place to live.
Safe place. This person right here.
Mom.
What does the mom want?
To help their family.
Right.
Future for her kids.
Keep her family safe.
To help the family and future for her kids. Over there, somebody else. Did I hear? What does the mother want?
A house.
Peace of mind.
Stability.
Stability. How about this person right here?
A friend.
It's the mom's friend,
Right.
another mother. Somebody's trying to, somebody that could try to help out.
With the rent.
And what is, with the rent, exactly. What does she want?
Housing.
Housing.
Safe
Affordable
place.
housing.
Affordable housing. What about this person over here?
Section 8 worker.
This Section 8 worker. What does a Section 8 worker want?
To move them to South County.
To be able to help people or to move them to South County?
Yes.
What do they want?
County.
Send them to other cities, right?
Send it to other cities? Is that what the Section 8 person wants to do?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
It's not just Section 8. We hear it from the Salinas Police Department, from all over. Find a new town to live in.
Yeah, I was
Why
even told
should
go
we?
to San Francisco.
Why should we? This is my hometown.
So we all see like a good cross section. Does anybody here think about, like, if you know someone in this situation? Does anybody here know somebody in this situation? Raise your hand. Okay, now look around. Look around at all the people who raised their hand. You all represent a good cross-section of this community that we live in. All right, and there are efforts right now. There are some efforts really trying pretty hard. At least I know on our end, on the community side, there's a lot of work taking part. And also in other areas, there's work that's taking place. But a lot of times what we're feeling is we're not in the same place making these decisions for the rest of our community. All right, so I want to go ahead and I'm going to introduce somebody, but before that, I want to give a round of applause for our actors, everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. Primeramente me disculpan porque soy pocha, pero les tenemos un poco de información sobre una nueva ley estatal que se llama AB 1482 o AB 1482 en English. Bajo esta nueva ley hay nuevas protecciones para los inquilinos. Primeramente, establece un límite a la cantidad que le pueden aumentar la renta durante un año a un 5% más inflación general. Segundo, la nueva ley requiere que esta nueva ley requiere que su propietario tenga y declare una razón justa si es que lo quieren desalojar. Y les quiero decir que esta ley fue un esfuerzo comunitario y los invito a seguir esta lucha acerca de las viviendas al nivel local con su concilio. Y luego, si gustan más información sobre esta ley y los recursos disponibles en esta comunidad, aquí tenemos unos folletos. Llévense unos cuantos, however many you need. So real quick in English, just to translate, we have some information over a new state law called AB 1482. It establishes new renters protections across the state. It does so first by establishing an annual rent cap of 5% plus inflation. And second, it requires that landlords now have a just cause if they want to evict you. So I want to reiterate that this was not an easy law to enact. It was the result of communities coming together to push for these protections. And so I invite you to continue pushing locally with your council and your community. So if you want more info, we have some sheets here. Please take a few. And we also have info on the law and of some available community resources. So thank you.
Thank you, Alexia. Right now, I want to introduce our housing consultant, Matthew Huerta. Come on up.
Thank you, Chago. Thank you, Viviendas para Todos, Teatro. I don't know if you're feeling it, but I am. The pain of not having a home is very real. Our city leaders have opportunities to address those needs of our community. And sometimes they do very well. A couple weeks ago, they passed that ordinance. They didn't have to do that. That took some courage. We appreciate that. But that's just one step. There's a lot more to go, and in fact, tonight they have an opportunity to take another big step, because there's a big West Area plan on the north side of town that has been planning for a long time. But when they started in 2002, housing wasn't the number one thing on the agenda. It is now, right?
Right.
Nobody has solutions for how big this problem is. Not the state, not the federal government. We have to band together and we have to ask our elected officials to do the courageous thing, to go beyond the minimum. And that's what tonight is about. They have an opportunity to go beyond the basic and say, guess what, developers, you want to do business in this town, then you have to address the needs of the community. You have to build the maximum possible affordable project. That's all we're asking for. What do you think about that?
Great.
You like that?
Yeah, great.
So they need to hear that. And there's a lot of technical stuff in between, but we're asking for a few things that some of us have gotten together and said, you know what? Here's some good ideas that you should incorporate into the meeting tonight. And that's it. If you want to know more details, we can have that. As an example, they have an opportunity in that area in the next few 5, 10, 15 years, either to build more retail or more homes, more affordable houses. Which one do you want?
Affordable houses.
Affordable homes. Should that even be a question?
Nope.
But that's a question that they have to answer tonight. What's more important? What's a higher priority? They get to answer that tonight. Okay? And finally, they have made steps toward protections that Alexia just talked about. But there's a lot more to go. Because when we're talking about dealing with people's homes and the relationships with landlords and tenants, it's super complicated. People need help. People need to know that, guess what? When you have an issue with your landlord, they have a team of lawyers. They know the system. Do you have a lawyer?
Nope.
Do you have a lawyer that works for you? God bless you if you ever have to have a lawyer and go up against landlords, because that's what happens. Instead, evictions happen, right? We know what happens. So what we're asking tonight is, guess what? If you approve of the new development, we want maximum affordability. We want more houses, not more retail. Okay? And we want a plan. We want a real plan. A real plan in the next 12 months. And that's too much time. But guess what? We know how government works, right? We're reasonable people. But we're saying, you know what? By this time next year, if we don't have a plan, then we have failed our community. Us and them. And we're committing right now, we're going to do our part. Are you going to do your part?
Yes.
To participate, show up, give your ideas, give your energy,
Vote.
and say, you know what? Right now is the time we need a plan in place to deal with tenant protections. Okay? Tenant protections means all the stuff that the 1482, making sure that we have those protections in place. It could be relocation assistance. It can be legal assistance to make sure that people, when there's somebody on the other side of the phone answering tough legal questions. Okay? So we want a plan in place. Those are the things that we want to talk about tonight. If you're interested in participating in that, I'm going to be over here. Let me know, and we can talk about it some more, okay? Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to continue working with everybody.
Thank you, Matt. Right now I want to introduce Alma Loredo, who's going to talk to us a little bit about how we can engage our representatives.
Buenas tardes, Alma Loredo. Y así como dice Matt, hay que preguntarles, ¿no? ¿Cómo vamos a trabajar juntos? Para eso los vamos a mantener responsables de su trabajo. Aquí les vengo a enseñar el mapa de la ciudad. Este es el mapa de los distritos. Cada uno de los distritos tiene sus limitaciones, sus límites. Cada uno de nosotros sabemos dónde vivimos, así que les pido que vengan y si no saben cuál es su distrito, por favor tomen el tiempo, ya que estamos aquí, tengan con ustedes, nosotros tenemos información de este lado acerca de cuál es su distrito para que les demos la llamada, para que los mantengamos ahí diciéndoles ahora necesitamos que nos ayudes. ¿Cómo vamos a hacer para entonces hacer próspero el condado más rico, pero a la vez más pobre? ¿Cómo vamos a hacer juntos para poder bajar ese número? 40% de los estudiantes en Salinas son homeless. En una clase de 20, 8 no tienen dónde vivir. Así que es nuestro trabajo, pero lo tenemos que hacer juntos. ¿Ok? Gracias.
Gracias, Alma. So she brought up that latest fact that came up. 40% of Salinas students are homeless. That's like eight per class. All right. If that doesn't impact you, then hopefully somehow maybe a conversation with our representatives can. I know that Diana right here, she has a little map of each of these 6 districts. And I know a lot of you all already know who your representatives are. But if you don't, Alma has some maps and some email and phone numbers that we can begin this conversation with our city council representatives. They need to hear us, and maybe they already heard from you. So if not you, then maybe your friends, right? Maybe your neighbors, maybe your family members. Maybe this conversation needs to go beyond just this gathering right here. We've got to carry this conversation into the next year. I mean, we got to carry this conversation with us the whole time. We need a place to live. So, for those who are interested, Diana, if you want to go ahead, go around and raise your hand, Diana. This is Diana. If you need like city council information about your city council, if you have questions as to where you live, right? If you even know who your city council representative is, Diana has literature information. All right, everybody. Right now they're about to get the meeting started, correct? All right, and are we? Do you know where we're at in terms of the item on the agenda?
I think you probably come.